Welcome to East
and West
Gaming. This is West here.
I'm East.
And let's get on with this adventure.
And today I think we're gonna, go through Cycle Road.
Yes, I believe so. That's that big road on the map going down.
Because we didn't get a chance to go through Cycle Road in our
yellow
playthrough. So I think we'll try this playthrough.
I think you got no choice on this one, to be fair.
Probably true.
They've made it really linear now this time, so you've got to go in the specific direction. Alright, let's check. Wasn't this the hidden house or something last time?
It was
Secret
a
house or something.
Cycling Road.
Downhill, of course.
I mean, I remember. I can't remember if it's the same here, where you don't even have to push anything; it just automatically travels.
Yeah, because on the previous game, they wouldn't let you out there unless you had a bike anyway, and I think we didn't bother with the bike at the time.
No.
But yeah, usually you go in the upward direction if you use it first, rather than down.
No, because you were supposed to have the bike already, and then you were supposed to be able to go through through this path, which is the quickest path to go down.
He's got a motorbike. Or a cycling road.
Well, technically motorcycles, so
I know I'm thinking it's a bit dangerous, Could run a Pokémon over or.
Have you seen how wide it is? The cycle road, there's nowhere to walk, no cars.
Parker Riley was defeated. Whoa. 1088. Should have been 1066.
So if you get on a Pokemon to swim over here, will you just automatically go down it, or do you stay still? Since obviously when you're on your bike here, I'm guessing it's some sort of hill or embankment. That's why you automatically move. Coffee.
A lot of motorbike riders on here, but you never really see any other cars or anything anywhere, do you? Just motorbikes.
Well, you do see that truck in red and blue.
Oh, if you use float around the back of
no, it's not
the
float.
SSM.
It's swim.
Was it swim? I thought it was out of the thingy. You had to use float.
No. So basically, I don't know why we're using moves that don't actually exist.
It was because when I played it originally on the game, we used it was called a Blaze system, which was like an action replay, and I remember you had to float over the actual SS Anne, and you could get to there was a truck behind, and you could never get into it.
So the actual way to do it in original Red and Blue is you needed to get the link cable, link up two systems, and have someone send you a Pokemon that knows Cut. So then you go to him, because obviously you're supposed to go onto SSN, go to the captain to get Cut. And then once he leaves, you can't go through anymore. However, you can bypass the entire SSN if you know someone who would give you a Pokemon knowing Cut. You then go through the rest of the game without going into SSN. So at the end of the game, when you finally have Surf, you go in, you're with the ticket, and goes, okay, you can go through. And instead of going into the SSN, you can actually surf. And on the right hand side of the screen, there's a truck there, and there's been so many theories, but
apparently the official Pokemon thingy was that originally that was basically a deleted area that they were originally going to develop into something else, and then they decided not to go ahead with it. That's from what I read.
Yeah, but then the fan theories was that's where you were supposed to get Mew, and I saw so many different fan theories. One was it that you were supposed to use strength, push the truck, and there would be a Pokeball with Mew in.
Yeah,
that was the most popular one.
Unfortunately, though, if that was a fan theory, that should have been quashed a long time ago, because everybody tried all the things to get in the truck. But yeah, it's just a deleted area for what they planned on doing something with, and they never did it. So Magmar. Ramgam. Read it backwards. Ramgam. Ramgam. Could be like an ice version of Magmar. Ramgam. Ramgam. Rock slide. Bye bye Magmar. Bye Joel. See you later Joel. Nice knowing you. Here's another biker. Biker Charles wants to battle. Biker Charles is going to use a wheezing, I reckon. Oh, coughing.
Well, the go-to is always a coughing, isn't it?
Coughing. Right, let's use Rock Slide.
Again, I do like coughing. Wheezing not so much because obviously coughing is sort of cute in its own toxic way.
Did you like the steampunk kind of look at the Galarian wheezing with the big chimney stacks on the top and stuff?
I did and I didn't at the same time.
They kind of look like gentlemen wheezing. If you looked at it, they look like kind of like top hats as well.
Yeah, honestly, I always thought it'd be like a top. I mean, to be honest with you, following into the steampunk style, it does look like, because obviously when you think steampunk, not only do you imagine people with like the the goggles and the steampunk, but then you think of a gentleman as well, like in the steampunk era, because steampunk era is mainly like Victorian ages, isn't it?
Yeah. I always think of like something mechanical and then, steam. That's how I always think of steampunk. Right, what are you going to use? Oh, Charmeleon. Nice choice, Charles. Nice choice.
I mean, to be honest with you, I am starting to think that they should probably do a lot more regional variants.
Like the look of the Charmeleon on this.
I know, like I said, they do look a lot better in the older styles. Like the newer styles now, they look a bit too tamed. Plus, I like the darker red coloured ring that they had, rather than the, slightly orangey colour that they have now.
Yeah, I prefer the more reddish colour. I mean, he was meant to be like an orange colour anyway, wasn't he?
I suppose, but then, I always thought maybe Charizard could have been like dark red instead of like orange, because obviously you saw Charmeleon turning into sort of like a reddish colour, but then it turns back down to orange instead.
I didn't like him. I think out of all the dragon types ever, I didn't like Druddigan. I think that's got to be the one of the worst for me. I just didn't like how it had one colour body then a totally different colour head. It just didn't look right.
Wow, Drampar's still one of my least favourites.
Oh yeah, Drampa. Didn't you say your worst pseudo was the Goomy one?
Yes. I mean, it doesn't look strong enough to be a pseudo. I know, obviously, the stats wise it is, but when you look at it is. I don't really see it as like a strong Pokemon at all.
My least favourite was actually Garchomp.
But Garchomp did look ferocious and did look like it deserved to be a pseudo, though.
I never really liked Garchomp though. I always liked Salamence and I think Haxorus probably should have been a pseudo.
Oh, I have always said Haxorus should have been, but I'm not only saying that because it was my first ever bred shiny.
I remember a lot of people used to think Flygon was pseudo, but it actually isn't. It's only got a base stat, I think 580 or 590, so it doesn't make it.
And even now, Flygon still doesn't have a Mega Evolution, and fans are just down.
I remember Mega Altaria? The Swablu Evolution, Altaria.
I can't remember it very much right now.
I think it had a Mega form, didn't it? Mega Altaria. Well, if it hasn't, It should have one. Mega Pidgeot as well,
Yes,
wasn't
it did have a Mega form, but it just looks like a really fluffy cloud. I mean, I'm not too fond of this Mega because it doesn't, you know. Yes, it's just a lot fluffier, a lot more, you know.
Remember Mega Pidgeot? Was it Mega Pinsir? Or was it Mega Heracross I'm thinking of?
You're thinking of Mega
Heracross, yeah. There was a lot of them what we remembered, the Mega forms.
I never really used the Mega mechanic that much because in my head it was just, you know, using a slot that I could have used for something else, you know, another like, you know.
I always liked Mega Evolving them. It was the Z moves I didn't like. For me, that was the worst mechanic out of all the
No, because
games.
when you Mega Evolve, you can only have one Pokemon Mega Evolving in any given battle. So then it's which form do I want to choose? I mean, I always either went for like Charizard or Blastoise anyways, because I always went back to the basics, you know, the starter Pokemon.
See, the problem I didn't like with Z moves was you can only use the Z move once per battle. Whereas at least with a Mega Evolution, if you've got, you know, you're battling a Pokemon trainer who's got 6 Pokemon, you can Mega Evolve it in the first battle and actually use it against all the 6 players.
Yeah, but that's where Dynamax and isn't it Gigantamax as well? They fall short of it because Mega Evolution was like too OP, I think.
Whereas Dynamax has only lasted for so many turns.
And isn't it the same for Gigantamax as well?
Yeah.
You only use it for only like 3 turns.
Gigantamax basically is Dynamaxing, it's just a different form that it attains when it's Dynamax.
I mean, I never really liked the fact that they just said, you know, it's like Gigantamax. We all know it's Dynamaxing. Don't need to hide it.
Yeah, it's just a new form.
And then, obviously, with the new mechanics in, you know, SV.
I liked terrestrialising it. I think it was okay. I just didn't like the designs of the big crystal things on their heads. I think they looked a bit lame. Like they just stuck a crystal on its head.
I mean,
said, oh yeah, it's a fighting type one. It's got a boxing glove, you know, fist. I didn't like the look of that.
I mean, I understand the concept of like, you know, terrestrializing is changing the typing completely to give you an advantage in a battle and whatnot. But at the same time, you know, giving it a completely unrelated like terror when it can't learn that specific like move set because it only increases, you know, that move's powers and not others. So unless that Pokemon, for example, if you had a normal type, you terrestrialized it into like a fairy type. If you didn't know a fairy move, you're kind of stuffed then, aren't you?
Exactly. That was another one as well when we were on about Defog earlier because she mentioned the Safari Zone. I remember when I actually couldn't find Defog because I never thought of exploring the whole Safari Zone because obviously, you know, you had to pay to get in and stuff, and I was thinking like, yeah, and then it took me a long time to find Defog. I was like, where'd you get Defog? So literally I went everywhere for hours, and then I found it. I'm like, oh my god, what a like obscure place to put it.
Well, I do like things like this where they force you to explore, but obviously you have to make sure like you have to count your steps really properly.
Yeah, that's the problem with the Safari Zone. You didn't want to have to backtrack anywhere.
Because, like, I remember when I was playing on Pokemon Red, like, all those years back, I didn't want to spend all that money going into Safari Park, so I just had to keep doing, you know, going through it once, and that was pretty much it. If you couldn't find the Pokemon you wanted to, well, you know, bad luck. How much was it to get in? Was it 500?
I think it was 500, yeah. For how many steps was it? 250 or 500 steps? I can't remember.
Wasn't it like 200 steps or something like that?
It wasn't a lot, I know that.
And you had to try and find like, what was it? There was a Chansey, was it inside?
Chansey, Cypher was a rare spawn, Dratini was a rare spawn from fishing. Butterfree was uncommon, not common, but it wasn't rare. I think maybe Pince was in there. Maybe as a
because I know Pinsir
Rare.
and Cypher were like version exclusives. Taurus was in there.
and Kangaskhan was rare spawn in there as well.
Yeah, it was the rarest one. Second
Of
only
Dratini.
to Dratini, yeah. But you know, you had to use a super rod for that anyway. So
I remember in Yellow when we did the playthrough previously. It was for me because I didn't do it on videos because it took so long. It took me like I think over an hour to actually hook one, and then it kept breaking out, which annoyed me.
see, I genuinely believe that Kangaskhan might be a rarer spawn than Dratini because you only had a certain amount of steps that you could use to try and find Kangaskhan.
Yeah.
But however, with like Dratini, you just needed to keep using the rod until you found one. So in all fairness, Dratini may be like a rarer in terms of like but you didn't need to use your moves to try and find it. So I think Kangaskhan is the harder one to try and find.
I feel like with Dratini as well, it was more one of the annoying ones to stay in the ball. It kept breaking out the ball more as well. It's almost like it didn't want to be caught.
See, and in this one here, you can see the walls quite clearly.
Yeah.
But in red and blue,
There's no indication where the wall was.
no, there was. It was very slight. However, you'd have to look really closely. And in those days, the Game Boy wasn't really that advanced enough for you to be able to make it out. So that's why, I probably learnt, however each step was, because if you played it that enough times, you learn how to navigate it.
Oh, I played the hell out of it, I did. Literally all of them. At least 4 or 5 times each version I must have completed.
Oh, do you know how dumb I was back then? So, like, so a friend of mine, he wanted the other evolutions, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. And what I did was, I didn't think about this in my head. I was just thought, I'll help him out, I'll just like start a new game and send the Pokemon over. I completely trashed my save just to send him another, 3 Bulbasaurs, 3 Squirtles, 2 Charmanders, and then when I came down to my game, I was just like, okay, all my game data is lost. I spent literal hours, going through the Elite Four, winning the Elite Four for my battery to die, just to restart the game from scratch. But because of that, I went through the cave and everything, and I knew where the hidden candies were, the hidden PC, etc. It was all ingrained inside my head.
Camper Barry was defeated. Right, let's go down here. I'm sorry. I'm only joking, I'm the real deal. Also, we've actually found the gym leader without having to go through one. Leader Janine wants to battle. Leader Janine sent out Crobat. Crow.
He does look pretty good though.
Yeah, he does.
Compared to Golbat.
He just looks sleek and like he is fast. You can tell he's quick just from his, appearance.
See, I don't know why. I just like I know I don't like a lot of like some of the designs like Golbat. His mouth is huge and wide open. Not really my And then you've got Crobat, which is very sleek.
Do you want me to tell you one of the Pokemons I never really liked? Gligar and Gliscor. Its evolution.
Looks a bit too much like Crobat.
I never liked it. I mean, the worst one ever's got to be Gulpin and Swalot. They're my worst 2 Pokemon ever. There are a few that I don't like, but that is my worst.
I mean, like in the case of Weezing, it does look like 2 like coughings glued together, but when it evolves, you know, where's the second coffin coming from? You know, you think like you need another one to evolve into this form.
Maybe the first one was that little blob at the bottom, then it sort of stemmed out into two. There's like a piece, isn't there, that's joining them. Maybe that was the original coffin below. That's the same with Magneton. Is it just 3 Magnemite that have just magnetised together and it's become Magneton? When you think about it. And then Magnezone ends up having a massive sort of, you know, UFO star body, and then the magnets attached to the sides of it. Ariados is quite a decent looking Pokemon.
I mean, it was one of my favourites like back then. I don't think I used it in my main team, but I know I really liked Ariados, that I really wanted to catch him.
I think I liked Forretress. I know you're not a big fan of Forretress.
I mean, I know like in battle-wise it's really good because its defense is, you know, out of this world, but I looked at it and I was just like, it didn't really look that amazing to me.
See, I had a thing for Dark Pokemon when this game first came out. I like Dark was one of my favourite types because of Umbreon.
Oh yeah, I definitely went for an Umbreon.
I like the Steel Pokemon because I liked Steelix, but Dark was mine over this, my favourite typing of this generation.
See, I believe I had a Scizor in my team, a Umbreon, definitely a Ampharos, I think.
You liked Dragon types, your favourite, isn't it?
Back then?
No, I mean like now.
I wouldn't say like, I don't really know what my favourite would be.
Mine's Ghost overall. Just love Ghost Pokemon. I mean, it's only got 2 weaknesses as well, which is Ghost and Dark, so you know, it's one of the top types to use. Right guys, gonna take a bit of a break again. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel for the rest of the game and other games that we also post on. West signing out.
Yes, it's been fun and can't wait to see you all again. East signing out too.
Feeling like the club, gonna be the best. Pushing all the barriers and playing for a game. Say Super Bowl and remember our name. East and West, gonna run a war.